And welcome back. With me right now is the board president of Third Mutual, Rosemary DiLorenzo. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you too.
Nice to see you here. And we are going to go over a few things. One of them, of course, is your board meeting, and you had it last week. It was on a different date, different day. That's because of the Thanksgiving holiday. You pushed it back.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was, you know, we had one director had a planned vacation, another director was having surgery, so you know it was getting down. So I said, and then some wanted to go out of town, and I would hate to have a board meeting with just 6 of us there.
Right.
So we just said we followed all the rules for the corporation and just delayed it. But it was funny, as we got to the delay, I kept saying, oh goodness gracious, you know, because there's a lot of work going into it, and I sort of wished it was over. And there's a lot of work through the rest of the day, because after we have that open session, we go to closed session where we have hearings or go over financial things that are confidential, really, a lot of legal things. So we were there till 6:30.
Wow, and the open session was quite short.
Right, yeah, because I'm getting pretty good at moving that through, but the closed session was really long. And what we do, which I think is really good, Siobhan thought it was a really good idea, is last year we started breaking the sessions, and I do the open session on the air as the president, and then I had the closed session is run by the first vice president.
Oh, okay.
So it gives you a break, because it's very mentally exhausting to
realize you did that.
Run them both. Yes. So of course I'm there, but it gives the first vice president an opportunity to run the meeting, and then because if he wants to be president, he knows what it's like to work with the entire group, and it gives me an opportunity, because usually I'll sit with our attorney, to really stay focused on the matters that are coming up versus having to keep the gang moving along.
That's true.
So it's good.
Yeah.
So I like the way it's working, and I started it last year right after my husband died, because I was like sort of more mentally tired, and Bill did a great job, and I said, wow, this is really just even when all my mental energy was back, I said, this is just a great idea for them. So
I think that is.
So the biggest thing that we went over yesterday is that we have filled the position on third board for a 3-year position it is, and that was with John Pearlstone, and he's a resident, he's a Garden Villa resident. This is one of the first times that we have people from the Garden Villa Association, a number of them on the board. We actually have, because I always say Garden Villas are a third of third.
Right.
But usually I'm the only one who has been on the board. And now we have 4 members who live in Garden Villas, so it's almost like a third it's more than a third of the board, so it's the first time. So, and that's really good, because they have unique needs, and I always had to be their voice. And so now we know that we'll continue moving in the right direction to make sure that this third of third gets the different type of attention that they need. So that's really good.
Very good.
And then we also, I went over, we had to appoint 2 new people for VMS. One is for a 3-year term, and that is Wei Ming Tao. And Wei Ming was our treasurer, and she's a very, very good businesswoman. And
I seem to recall Wei Ming and you were originally on the board together. Am I right? That same year.
Yep, we ran together actually as the dynamic duo.
And she was a treasurer.
Right.
Yeah,
and we both got on, so it was great.
I remember that.
We had our own little ballots and whatever. And so we're excited about her being on the board, and that's for a 3-year term. And then we had a 1-year term to fill, because one of our members resigned for health reasons, and we replaced her, that was Donna Dwalaby, with someone named Riza Karini. I believe that's how Karimi.
Okay.
And he's on for a 1-year term, and he lives in Gate 11, and he seems very, he doesn't seem, he's very energized, very well educated, and you know, he could always decide that maybe he wants to run for the board next year, because next year a number of us come off the board. I go off the board, and I won't run again because I had 2 terms. So, so that's really good. And then another big thing that we did as far as that goes is the 3 boards, GRF, Third, and United, got together with Siobhan and did a formalized review of the performance of EMS. Not the performance of the general manager, not the performance of the board, but how all of the departments, how we believe that they're working, you know, based on the needs that we observe or we hear about or we are involved in, because we deal with the residents. And so it was it took about 2 hours, and we came up with a number of things that we really felt that were moving along very well, but also a number of things that we believe need greater attention, and we've asked them to make sure that they're included in the plans for next year and that they get back to us on them. So it was a good positive experience. When it was over, everyone thought, you know, from the board thought it was a good experience. They told us that. So that is a key to that.
All right. So you want to talk about a couple of these forms.
Right. Yesterday, I received my packet. You all will get a packet.
Let's talk about the packet first, and then we'll
right. Well, because the forms are in the packet.
Yeah, and these are important.
So you should be getting a letter from the mutual, and in it it'll tell you what it's about the business plan and what your monthly assessment will be in 2019 versus 2018. Mine is a little bit different because we have different fees in the 3-story buildings, because we have to pay an elevator surcharge, et cetera. So I don't want to say what the fees are. We've gone over it so many times on television. So I just want to remind everyone that depending on what method you use, just make sure that you change the amount. I don't, you know, I have mine coming out of my checking account, so every month it just sends it. So I have to, right after the December payment is made, I'm going to go in and set up the 12 payments with the new amount. But we do have sometimes people not remembering to put the change in, and we have to notify them, and we're usually pretty good about, you know, not charging them a big late fee for $5 or $6, but it's something that you have to remember to do. But the other thing is in the envelope. So don't do what some of us do. Take the envelope, open it, look at the amount, and then put it somewhere. There are 3 items in the envelope.
And I'm going to hold these up. And the first one is an opt-out authorization form. And I know a lot of people have seen these. A lot of times you get them in your, you know, whatever statement or something, your club you belong to, whatever it might be. And this is if you want to opt out, where the association might pass along your name or something, you know, to different, whatever it might be. You can opt out as your name, address, and things like that.
Right. And the important thing is with all of these things, you could there are instructions on them as to what to do with them when you finish filling them out. Like you say, okay, what am I supposed to do? So you could either drop them off at the community center and save a stamp, or you could mail them. And all the information on there. So
this one would be if you want to opt out of your name being in, you would say, I don't want my name being accessible to the general membership, that sort of thing. Obviously, the people, the board, the security are going to have that, but it says here, to make their contact information inaccessible by the general membership.
Correct, because I believe that the members could come in and ask for a list of the members. Because I know during elections, we used to have people come in and ask for a list of members because we used to try to send people who didn't live here letters, et cetera. So that would allow you to opt out.
All right. Now these 2 forms may sound similar, but they are not. There's a contact emergency notification record, and of course, this would be if, you know, something happened to you, that on file would be the type of person you want to have contacted. It also has your doctor's name and phone number. Emergency contacts, like say you might have a relatives nearby, whatever it might be. And then it's also has special circumstances on here if you're hearing impaired, vision impaired, that sort of thing.
So it gives us more of an understanding. If something, you know, because sometimes we'll get a call and somebody will say, I haven't seen my neighbor, you know, for this many days. So hopefully we have a key, you know, on file. We try to contact them. We knock on the door. Security goes over. But in case there was something that was wrong, we would have this on file and know exactly what to do.
And then this one is called the Code Red form.
And this is newest.
Yeah,
the newest.
And this is very similar, like where I live, we have Alert OC. It's in a sense a reverse 911 call. So if there's an emergency, you know, whatever it might be, you know, wildfire in the area, an earthquake, whatever, you know, this will send an alert to you on your phone.
And, you know,
and I think text as well, because you're, which is great.
And sometimes it is a perceived emergency. And
That's
I can go back to this.
Yeah.
It's maybe almost a year ago. There was a lot of fire. There was fire in Laguna Beach.
Yes.
And the smoke was absolutely terrible, because I live in Gate 14. So it was, but it was pretty bad in a lot of places. So I know they did alerts. So this is totally programmed, and it's able to be used for any kind of emergency. So it could be for a major power outage. It could be you know. So it's something that's really good that was started. And if anybody has any questions, they should contact the general manager's office. But read the form, and the form also on the back has you to fill out information and send it in. So I said, of course, I'm saying to Ken, well, this is great. I just got this today, and here I am. I'm on the board, and I'm saying, I wonder if you have to fill both of them out. If you can, please fill both of them out.
They're
different. They're different. The information is slightly different, so do that.
So with the Code Red, by the way, this is like for Laguna Woods Village, but you should also, I encourage people to also do the Alert OC, because that's all of Orange County, and you'll get alerts for different things. Like that's what I'm on.
And how do people get Alert OC?
I think if you just simply go online and Google Alert OC, you can find that out. You can also, if you go to the Orange County Fire Authority, ocfa.org website. And what's good about that, and I'll tell you one thing that sometimes can be helpful. Sometimes they do the drills. You know, you get the ones on TV, but sometimes they're a little bit more major, and they're practice drills, and they will alert you via text, you know, this is only a drill or something like that.
Well, we have,
and they're good to have, you know.
We have the little thing on television.
Yeah,
And when it says this is a test, you know, when the whole screen goes blank, and it has these little. So there are a lot of different things that are used to notify people. It was funny. I asked yesterday. I had gone to a lecture over at UCI. I think it was the Beckman Center, and when I was in there, on the wall next to the phone, it had what to do in case of an emergency. And I said, that's really interesting, because, you know, in my work life, I ran hotels, and they were mostly in California. And I never, earthquakes, and we never put anything on the wall that said what to do, because it's different if you're in a public place versus what you're going to do at home. So I brought that up to Steve Parsons, who was on our disaster committee, and said, and also to Siobhan, I said, is there a new rule or something where we should put this up? Because if there was an earthquake and you were at the pool, you know, and look, there was an earthquake this morning in Alaska.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
I did not.
That's because I was at home watching the news.
Oh, okay.
I think it was at 8:30. It was a 7 point. No, not this morning. I'm sorry. I'm like crazy. It was last week. It was last Friday. And you probably weren't watching television, and I was.
I'll have to look that up.
And it was a 7.0, and they said bridges came down and all that other stuff.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Interesting. All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I just want to tell everyone to please be careful when they do their Christmas shopping, but to enjoy it. And our next board meeting is Tuesday, December 18th at 9:30 in the boardroom.
All right. We'll see you then.
Thank you.
Take care. Happy holidays, and we'll be back.